All right, welcome back to another Revopoint stream. Exciting to be with you today. We're going to be going over today the new Pop 3 Plus. So I've discussed with you before, obviously Revopoint has many different scanners for your different scanning needs. Anything from something as small as a coin, a dice. That's good for the mini series. We've had videos about that. Pop series, mid-size, like what we're looking at here. And then range and Morocco, which handles huge things. And of course, Morocco is also capable of smaller things like a dice. But let's focus on the Pop 3 Plus today. What are some of the new features with it? For one, this right here is the old calibration board. Was great and everything back in the day. But now with the Pop 3 Plus, we have the new fiberglass one. Enhances accuracy by 20%. So that's cool. Hence the plus. Also, we have within, and this is neat, if you're on the fence, sometimes people wonder about whether to go with the mini series or the Pop series because they overlap each other, and we've talked about that in other videos. But now a new feature with Pop 3 Plus is that it has a double zoom-in capability. So I'm going to show you later in the video how actually Pop 3 Plus can scan something as small as a coin like this. So that's pretty cool. It used to be pretty tricky with other Pop series, but now that's capable. So if you're on the fence about getting mini or Pop, now with that double zoom-in capability, that's pretty nice. Maybe just go with the Pop series. So let's get into it. First of all, we're going to go through all the different things that it's capable of within the software. Obviously, feature, marker, color scanning, also the new global marker. We're going to be using that. I'm first going to be scanning for demonstrating feature mode with this engine part. Really cool item here. We're going to get a full outside scan and inside and see how Pop 3 Plus does. So let's give it a try. I'm going to first rest it down. I'm going to get this out of here for now, the box. And let's try this out. And there's definitely some shiny areas on here. We have some powder on there to help with picking up the features. Overall though, like, we didn't spray scan it, so might have some problems, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's select feature tracking, good. Raise this up a little bit. Just the exposure. Doing auto. No, I'm not doing auto. I'm doing manual here. So I'm raising it up to about 5. It's coming in pretty good on the preview screen. Yeah, it seems like 5 is a good choice. And as for the RGB, we shouldn't have to worry about that unless this light is affecting it. See what happens if I turn it on. Oh yeah, we definitely leave the RGB on auto. We should be able to deal with the studio lights pretty well. All right, let's try this out. Again, this is demonstrating feature. Let's see how it does. We are starting. And something I've talked about in other videos, because the scanner is, you have the projector and then the 2 cameras on the side. For example, right now I'm coming across on this engine mount area. You see these areas where it's kind of slit like that. So those are going to be holes. You know, it's not going to be able to capture the point clouds as nice because just the projector here, then the camera, so there's going to be blank spots. So sometimes in those cases, it'll be beneficial to flip your scanner vertical, because then that now is having the projector this way and the camera's catching everything that way. So depending on the grooves and the features on your item, you might want to flip it. It's just a little trick. But it seems like it's doing okay. But I'm still going to turn it sideways and see if it does any better. Just get a more complete point cloud scan. Yeah, so like right there, getting those grooves a little bit better. Yeah, you can see it's more full. And on the back here, it should fill in better. Not be so many blank spots. Just gonna let it come up on here, and then I'll pause it and we'll flip it upright. All right, so that's a pretty complete scan there. So let's flip it upwards. And again, make sure you start it where you have previous point clouds already captured in the software. So that's going to be on the side. So I'll let it rotate its way around and start it once we get to this spot. Then hopefully it should be able to pick up where I left off. Here we go. Captured it immediately. That's awesome. So now we're getting some new point cloud data from inside. Starting low on it, I'm going to work my way up. Yeah, let's start getting a little higher. And when it comes to a model for feature scanning, I mean, this thing is as good as they come. It has so many ins and outs, details on it, grooves, edges. So it's really going to showcase Pop 3 Plus, its capability, quite well. Just a little bit up here I wanted to get. All right, cool. Pause that, and then just to really clean it up nice on the inside, because there still are some blank spots, I'm just going to focus, just scanning right in the center here. Let's give it a moment to get its bearings. There it goes. So my goal with coming at it from this angle now is just to be able to get this inner bowl area a little bit better, the walls of it. Okay, awesome. And I just want to clean up the back too. Make sure there's no blank spots. All right, let's move on now with the Pop 3 Plus onto using marker mode. So we got this nice muffler here, and as you can see, we already have the marker dots all over it, the standard size ones, and then for this narrower pipe area, we got a couple of the little guys on here. You can kind of see right there and stuff. So we should be able to get a really nice result. You could put this up on a turntable. I personally like just kind of having it here in front of me, grabbing an area like this and slowly rotating it. That's the style I'm going to use. So let's change this over to marker tracking. Excellent. Let's make sure this depth camera is right. Turn that way up. Turn it all the way up to 10. All right. Let's go. Let's do this. So I'm first going to try to just get the main body here. By slowly rotating it around. And then I'll go down that tail. It's looking good so far. Try to get the front here some. All right, let's try to get some of this tail now. Pretty much have the body captured. I'm going to pause this for a moment just because it's getting away from me. Get into a better position. All right. So typically these are the tricky areas for how narrow this is, because you want to make sure that you have enough markers placed on your object so it doesn't lose tracking, but it's doing a nice job right now. Because we do have sufficient markers on it. Nice. We're almost there. So I feel like there's just a little part on the pipe here on the back that I haven't got yet. There it is. Cool. That's that. Let's pause it. Let's take a look how it's looking on the preview screen. Yeah, that's pretty rocking. Just maybe in the front here, didn't spend as much time there. I think hole filling should be able to capture that, but on the actual pipe itself, I missed a little bit there as well. Yeah, it's tricky because it's just such a windy piece right there. It should be okay though. Let's edit it. But all in all, nice complete scan. Complete. I'm going to run this one through one click. See how it does. And I guess I chose that way of scanning it. Might as well talk about this while it's editing. You could put something like this on the big turntable. I just find myself that because it's such a awkward piece, and it's like you got to keep the proper distance, and as it's rotating, all of a sudden you got this piece close to you. It's just a whole lot of me having to do this, you know, if I'm on the turntable. But if I just have it on the table and I'm gradually rotating it with my hand, and then pausing, bringing it back close to where I need to be, I just have an easier time controlling the distance. So, just a suggestion. You could put this on the turntable, but for such an awkward piece like that, long and narrow, I myself like to do it that way. You can experiment though yourself and find which way works best for you. All right, here we go. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Captured the overall shape really well. What I'm most happy about is just that narrow pipe. You know, it's like that is, to catch narrow items like that, typically pretty difficult. So that's a nice shout out to Pop 3 Plus here that it captured it. The overall shape is really awesome. Fantastic. Well, let's move on then. Okay, so with our next task for the Pop 3 Plus, I'm excited about this one because previously this would have been very difficult. But now with the Pop 3 Plus, we can scan something as small as a coin and get the detail right. Why is that? It's because of what I mentioned earlier. It has the optical zoom on it, and it can zoom in twice as much compared to what the digital zoom was previously. So that's ultimately what's going to help us capture some really small items with the detail on them because of that optical zoom. So again, if you are on the fence about whether to go with Mini or the Pop series, now that we have the optical zoom, should help you make that decision because you can definitely widen your wheelhouse of what you're scanning of items because of that optical zoom. Anything as small as a coin, capturing the details, all the way up to more of the mid-sized items that we've been previously this stream showing. Okay, but there is a way to do this. You got to make sure, for one, the best way obviously, it would be nice to just be able to hold the scanner directly above, equal with the surface. So if it was just on the table, you know, it'd just be like that. We don't have something to hold it that way. So we're gonna use the turntable, get it to an angle like that, and then I'm gonna take the scanner, raise it up some, and try to get it so it's the same angle as the turntable. And then we have to make sure we take this putty, because that's how we're going to keep the coin itself stuck to the turntable. So stick that on the back of the coin. Make sure you're in the middle of this roughly. And now the key is making sure you have sufficient features around the coin itself. This is important because if I would just start scanning it now, it wouldn't have enough feature to pick it up. It'd lose tracking. So we're going to put this putty, I'm going to make a bunch of dimensions around it. And besides keeping it close to the coin itself, make sure it's a little jagged, you know, so the height value of this putty, you know, like make it like shoot up a little bit like that. That'll help capture the details better. Make some skinny ones, long and narrow. Then put some other height behind it. Just really anything to bring more features. Because again, we're dealing with a coin here. The optical zoom obviously is awesome and a really nice help, but we still got to give something like a coin a little bit more feature to deal with. So yeah, make a bunch of little mountains around it or something like that. Will definitely help, so it doesn't lose tracking. So a little time consuming, but it's worth putting the work in, because you're going to get a better result. There we go. Feel like a kid again, playing with Play-Doh. All right, here we go. Maybe one more. This one's nice and tall. All right, and it's already set to the optical zoom, zoomed in as much as it can. Let's start this up. Making sure we're pretty centered. I'm liking that, all right. Exposure, how's it doing? Seems about 2 is good. Let's play around with this RGB if that does anything, just with the extra lights in the studio. Doesn't seem to be affecting much. Just leave that on auto. All right, feature tracking again. High accuracy. It's telling me that I'm overexposed, but all right, we'll keep it on 1. We'll see if that helps. Start. All right, nice. So let's just run it through one-click editing. With something as small as that, you know, you don't have to sit there and run it through a bunch of frames. I think that'll actually get too much overlap and affect the details. So let's just complete that. It did 1 rotation around. One-click editing. Apply. Yeah, so I mean, look at that. That is pretty sweet. Nice result. Obviously, if you want to go back and mesh, you know, and like get rid of the noise of the putty around it, no problem with that at all. Maybe I could have let it scan for a couple more seconds, but that's pretty cool. All because of the new optical zoom. It's able to pick that up compared to the old digital. You can even make out the lettering quite nice, how it says $50 on there. Very impressive. This is a Pop 3 Plus, and it's able to do that. Okay, so for our last scan, we're gonna move to color. Let's scan this parrot and see how it does. This one's gonna be should be pretty basic. Get rid of the putty, get the coin off. And let's show off the color mode of Pop 3 Plus. So yeah, make sure that the optical zoom, just go back to the standard. Color scanning. Maybe you don't need to have the LED on because we have enough light in here. And this is a beautiful example of color with everything this parrot has going on. And there we have it. All right, let's run this through one-click editing and let's see our result. Just in the preview window, it's looking pretty great. Complete that. Okay, here we go. Look at that result. I mean, that is a very vivid depiction, 3D image of our parrot, showing off the color capability of the Pop 3 Plus. Obviously I do have some holes in here. I didn't try to get the bottom or under the branch. I scanned it relatively fast, but just looking at the colors, I mean, that's vivid and accurate. So awesome. So there you go, you guys. Hopefully that was helpful. Shared some tricks of the trade within there. Showed you what Pop 3 Plus is capable of. Obviously the biggest difference, we have the fiberglass calibration board, which allows you to get 20% more accuracy, and then that optical zoom that we just demonstrated getting the coin, which is a big deal because the previous Pop series did not have that. So hopefully that was helpful. We went through marker mode, feature mode, color, and zooming in with the optical zoom. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.